Okay. So shout out to Anonymous Hippo. Thanks for showing up on a Sunday. Pretty poppin'. Okay. What I want to do is I want to cover how this is going to work because this would have been super dope to do in class. And I don't want this to be like super lame quarantine. So we're going to try to making it fun. So this does leave a little bit of a bind for people who are part of the jury. So today on Monday, I want you to have your check-in done if you're in my 5th period, your Netflix and drill complete, like doesn't need to be completed, but like remember it's due because some people forgot last week and then they were doing it like yesterday and it was okay, but it was depressing. Also, I think it's fun because I get to watch shows on the weekend on your recommendation. So this is going to be on Tuesday then when you're going to have everything done. So for going to your mock trial, this is part 1 and your part 1 was done. So you've done this part, hopefully. I've been going over some of them, or at least looking over them. But here's how this is going to work. So members of the defense and the prosecution, you're going to look at each other's statements. This means either you can make a copy, share everyone on the document, and let's say if y'all have each other's text numbers, y'all can like communicate that way. If you want to host a Zoom session and talk about it, I can either set it up for you and then you guys can Zoom or you can FaceTime, whatever you want. However you want to do this, I don't mind. But you make one statement. And you pick a public defender. So the public defender is just going to be whoever you want to do your statement. Okay. You're also going to prepare questions. So you're going to look at each other's questions and pick the best questions. Remember, if you have optional witnesses, so 3rd period, you have a Dolly. 5th period, you have a Cherry. Make sure you have some questions or else, honestly, like I'm not going to blame the people for not answering questions you didn't give. So it's okay. Once you have that, for both of you guys, the only difference is you have a district attorney. You guys are going to come to flipgrid. So each class has their own little section for the trial. So look for your class. So if I go to the 4 topics, it has each one of your classes. So look for your class. All the stuff is on here as well. So you should know. So witnesses, you're going to give the statement that you made in part 1. And you're going to try and answer the questions asked of you. So if you, for example, though, if they don't post the questions fast enough, so they don't do it on Monday or they don't get it on Tuesday before you've done it, and you just have the questions that you think might be, that I'll allow because quarantine. But if you can, answer the questions. So then you're going to come down and you're going to make a response. Prosecution team will have one response. Only one person needs to submit. Please don't make me repeat that. Defense team, only one response. Only one person needs to submit. Witnesses will all have responses. This should make it really easy for when we get down to the jury, because then the jury should just be able to look at each person's response. So look at the prosecution and the defense and then make a decision. So if I chose the prosecution and then look at each one of the witnesses' statements and decide, okay, well, based on the questions that were asked and the answers, I think the defense is doing super good with Johnny. But then Ponyboy, that wasn't really strong. His evidence wasn't good. The prosecution asked really good questions. He wasn't able to answer those. So I'm going to go with defense just because he maybe had 1 or 2 pieces. Randy, though, totally got him because he said that he saw Ponyboy over in the corner and that Johnny just went for it. And so you'd make your votes based on the evidence. So the things that you talked about with credibility and with evidence. And then you talk about your extra witnesses as needed. And then at the end, you cast a vote. So if you had perfectly equal amounts, then you could just make a decision based on who you felt did better or provided stronger evidence. Cough, cough, why you did part 1. But if not, then you have a 3-4, or even maybe the defense just killed it or the prosecution just killed it. You just put that in here. And then I will be able to then calculate all of the jury members. Okay, so with this in mind, I am not, if you didn't see this, but I also put it on almost every single thing. This one, I put it in big letters, is you as the people who are supposed to be putting your work on the flipgrid have an obligation to get that done on time, because it's not fair for the people who are on the jury that they're going to not be able to do their work because you haven't gotten your work done. So jury work, just in case, I wanted to make sure that you had a buoy. So your work is due for sure on Thursday, which gives you extra time. If your group is like super on fly and like gets everything in on Monday or Tuesday morning and gives you the time to be able to then get it done by the end of Tuesday, perfect. But I wanted you to have a blanket so you didn't stress out. So there you go. But please don't troll your jury and be a good person. Okay. Outside of that, you should be pretty set for this. If you have any questions, come to office hours or just post. You usually do. Thanks, guys.